Padlet is a really cool tool that is a virtual bulletin board that allows you to add pictures, files, attachments, basically anything that you want to it. Um, in order to use Padlet, you need to have an account, so you can either log in with your Gmail, Facebook, or you can just create a username and a password. Once you have done that, you're going to be taken to the home page where you'll be able to see, once you've actually made Padlets, you'll be able to see any Padlet that you are working on. You can see any recent activity. If you're collaborating with someone, you can see that too. I'm going to show you two examples of what you can do with Padlet. So the first one is a wall of poems. So what you see here is I made like a portfolio of some of the poems that I've written over the years. Um, you can arrange them in any way that you want. They have different formats where you can do Canvas, where the files that you add can be arranged anywhere. It can be streamlined where it goes down vertically from top to bottom. Right now I have it kind of horizontal where it goes from left to right. But you see here that I've added the poems, and if I want to, it's free form. So like if I want to move it around, I'm able to do that too. If I need to make edits, I can use the little edit button, or I can delete it. And if I go here, this gives me some more options that I want to do. Another example of a Padlet is this one is using pictures. If we go back to the home page, this one I created a family tree, and I added pictures of my family. So what might be a really cool activity for you to do with your students would be for you to, if you want to do kind of like a show and tell, where they can show pictures of who's in their family, then you can have them add pictures of their family members. Some other options would be, if this is for like an English class, for example, you can have them do a review of a book that they're reading for class, word of the day, open-ended questions. The possibilities are endless. To make a Padlet, what you need to do is, if you click on your username, you can click New. You have the option to choose from a wall, canvas, stream, grid. I like Canvas just because it allows you to arrange the pictures in any way that you want. And then once you get to the new page, you click on the plus button, and when you see where it has a little pencil, you click on it. This little file will pop up, and then it gives you the option to add an attachment. And then you click and start adding pictures. If that's what you're going to do, is add pictures, then you add whatever pictures you want. So I'm just going to add a couple so you can get an idea of how to use it. Once you have added all of the files that you want to add, you can arrange it in the way that you want. If you want to put a title, you can add a title. or you can keep it there like this. So you can title your Padlet whatever you want to call it. You can add a description. And you have the option to also change the background. They give you different ones to choose from. I actually like this background, so I'm going to keep it. You also have the option to add your own. Along with wallpaper, they have a little icon where if you there's an icon that matches whatever you're building, then you're able to do that. So for instance, if you were making, like, let's say on my portfolio, you can add this briefcase. If you were making a Padlet about Christmas, you can add this Christmas tree. Or if you don't want to add an icon, you don't have to. You have that option not to add anything as well. If you want to have the author's name, you see here how BCPS popped up when I clicked on it, or you can click it off. If you want to add comments, and this will allow people when they come and view it to add it, you can put that on or off. If you also want to make like a custom URL, you can write now. This is the one that was already pre-generated, but if you want to add a custom one, you can change it to mom, since this is about my mom. That's why I put in. Make sure you save the changes, and then that way everything, all the changes you made just is there. Some other options are, let's say if you decide you don't like the format, then you have the option to change. You can change it even though you already started making it. And then you see here how the format is a little bit different. Stream looks like this, and when you put it in streams, the pictures are a little bit bigger. You can also like a Padlet, and the little heart will appear. You can invite people to collaborate with you. So if you want someone to be able to work on this Padlet, then you make sure to add their email address, and then you give them the option. So if I say that Sarah can write, then you click on that. If you just want her to read it but not actually write, or to moderate, then you can click on whichever one you want her to do, or whoever you're collaborating with. If you don't want it, you can remove it. You also have the option to change the privacy. If you want this to be private, or if you want it to be public, you can change it to that. If you do password protect, you have to come up with a password. Once you're finished with your Padlet, you have the option to, you can embed it on a website if you have like a separate web page or a blog, or you can even share it to email, to Facebook, Twitter. What's really cool is you have the option to export it to a PDF. It lets you choose what size paper, whether you want it to be a portrait or a landscape. And then you see here the Padlet that you just made is now a PDF. And then if you click on it, it gets bigger. So I think that's really cool. You can also change it to, if you make it an image, it'll change to a PNG. And if we go back to, let me see. If we go back to the original Padlet that I made, the one with the poems, if you want to export that one, let's say we make this one a PDF, and this one actually has file attachments on it. You see how all the poems that are on the Padlet have appeared on the page. So if you see, this doesn't actually show you the whole poem, so to be able to see the entire poem, you click on it, and then it will download as a Word file. And once it opens up, you should be able to read the entire poem. You see here, you can see the poem in its entirety. So I think that's a really cool option. So that way, it's like if you have your students making a review of a book, then you can have them turn it into a PDF, and then afterwards they can always download it, print it out, and then that way it's something that, you know, they have a virtual form, they have a print form. If you realize that, let me go back to the one that I just made. So if you're in the middle, if you're creating it and you decide that you want to make another one that has a similar layout, you can just choose the copy design, or if you wanted to copy the post, then you can click submit. And then you see it's a remake. You basically just copied everything that you just did before. And now you see when you go back to your home page that you have two versions of it. So I think that might be something really useful, like if you need to have a copy of it for whatever reason, or then you have the ability to do that. If you realize that you don't want to copy the content, then you can also clear everything. Once you clear it, you can't undo it. But by doing that, that gives you the option to start fresh and then start adding new content if you want. And finally, if you want to go to your profile, this is another way for you to see the Padlets that you are working on. You can see any Padlets that you like. You also have the option to go to your profile. Where you can add a picture if you want to have an avatar. If you want to change your About You section, you can fill that out. And you can also, do things like change your password, delete your account. And the last thing that I want to show you is where it says attachments, where basically everything that you've added on here, all your pictures, all your files shows up here.